Hi everybody, today I'm going to do the review for my Kawasaki Z1000. Now, if there's pauses and stuff, just bear with me because I'm riding and I wanted to give you the experience of me talking about the motorcycle while riding. I'm going to start with the bad things. So there's a few bad things about this bike. The one thing that I think is the worst is that there's no way to put a box in the back. So if you want to carry stuff, etc., there's really only one option for saddlebags, and those are pretty expensive. Another thing that is a minus is that in this front area right here, there's not a lot of space. So you can't put, you're limited in what kind of stuff you can put in the front. So for example, if I wanted to mount a radar detector, it's almost impossible. Another minus, I don't know if it's a minus, just an observation, that the gears are super short. So at times I'm looking for the 7th, 8th gear because this bike has so much torque, lower end torque, that you really don't have to rev it high. And the difference between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is so little that a lot of times I just shift straight from 1 to 3 or even 4, and it's perfectly fine, especially in the city. Now if you're trying to race and stuff, you're obviously gonna, you know, row those shifts pretty fast and sequentially. Another minus that this bike has is that it doesn't come built in with a gear indicator. I added a gear indicator. You can see it's right over here. But there's a minus. It's not an accurate gear indicator. What it does, it knows the ratio of the gears, and it knows at what range of RPM the gears should be. And by that, it kind of guesses, it actually guesses the gear. And another thing is that when you start lowering the gears or shifting down, it takes a while for it to catch up. So sometimes I kind of forget, you know, that I shift 3 times, 4 times, and you can't rely on the gear indicator. Now, you can't rely on it for the 6th gear. So for example, now it's at 5th. I'm going to shift again. It's going to take like a second and realize, hey, I'm in 6th. So that's a minus. Other than that, this bike is phenomenal. I think it's well, for one, it has the Kawasaki reliability. That's what they do. They build engines, they build motorcycles, and from what I understand, this is a very, very reliable motorcycle. Another thing that I really like about it is that it's super, super easy to ride in town, in the city, because you don't have to rev it high to get to the torque. It's like riding a scooter, only with a lot of power in it. And I'm talking, you know, it's not a scooter obviously, but it sure feels like it as far as responsiveness and maneuverability. It's really nice. Another thing that I like about this motorcycle is the lights. Everything is LED. The front lights are just phenomenal. They're so bright that I couldn't want anymore. The only minus, if I had to ding it, is that they don't change angle. So when you go on turns, the slit of light doesn't change the angle enough. Or maybe it changes. Actually, it does change, but it doesn't level up, and that's a minus. Not a big deal. I don't think a lot of motorcycles have self-leveling lights, but it's something to know. Gas consumption is pretty good for a bike of this caliber. So I'm getting at about 41 miles per gallon. Now, if you compare it, for example, to the MT10, the Yamaha MT10, that thing gets about 30 miles per gallon. That's like either 1/4 less or 1/3 more, depending how you look at it. And, it adds up. Now, this bike has ABS, and that's about it as far as electronics that help the rider. All right, so I was talking about traction control and electronic. Basically, I was looking for something that has ABS and not too much of electronics that would make it less reliable. At least that was my thought. Also, to add cost, this motorcycle is much more affordable than other bikes that are, equipped with those things. Well, also just something less to worry about, really. Let's talk about really the good stuff. This bike is super nimble. It's so easy to maneuver. Awesome front brakes. This thing stops on the dime. Also, it is super quick. It does 0 to 30. Excuse me. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3 seconds, and it gets to 100 in about 6. Super fast. And the torque on this thing is just unbelievable. I could pretty much stay at 6th gear whenever I want, really, if I don't want to keep shifting around the gears. And if I need the power, it will have the power in 6th gear, even if I'm going like 30 miles per hour. So it's a great cruiser. It's a great sport bike. It's nimble. It's small. Really, my only complaints are storage. Another thing that really could be a problem is parts. Parts seems to be very expensive for this motorcycle. I think they're pretty expensive for motorcycles in general. I mean, I don't think other motorcycles are much cheaper. Other than that, let's see. I like the gauge. It's really easy to read, very visible in daylight and at night because it's backlit. And all the controls are within reach. Everything is super easy to access. The riding position for me, and I'm 6'1" or 183 centimeters, is very good. I'm not too hunched forward. I'm not too straight. My hands are pretty relaxed. Very easy to control the bike. Now, on my bike, when I bought it, the person who had it first, the first owner, replaced the exhaust pipes. with Brother 2 exhaust pipes, and I wouldn't do it myself, but the big plus is that the original pipes are so heavy. They're like 30 pounds almost, and the Brother 2 pipes are, they're very light, so it shaves off weight if that's what you're looking for. Getting a tank bag is absolutely necessary because it's the only place you can put stuff unless you want to carry a backpack on your back. So I'm gonna give you a tour in a second. I'm gonna stop in a parking lot and we'll talk about how this bike looks. So right now, for example, I'm in 6th gear, 29-30 miles per hour, and it's perfectly fine. You know, you go low RPM, like right now I'm at about 2,000 RPM. The bike doesn't jerk. There's no like problems of jitterness, unless you let go of the gas, obviously. But yeah, it's pretty compliant, I have to say. I'm gonna stop here and we can take a look and talk about the bike externally. Stop in the shade. Maybe I'll stop at the, whoa. Okay, so this is the bike. I really need to clean it, but I think the side profile is really, really nice. The and like dead on center, like really, really aggressive and nice. And look at these front discs and the front, the dual discs, they're huge. They really stop well. They don't have a crazy bite to it. It's very gradual, very confidence inducing, and I tested it. Obviously you should test to see how you can brake with your own bike in case of emergencies. It really stops really quick. So that's actually one thing you have to worry about. If you have to do an emergency stop, that that nobody hits you in the back, because you stop way faster than any car could. Yeah, so this is the bike. It doesn't come with this windshield. This was added later. It's obviously a naked bike, so it doesn't have a windscreen. But also the only thing that was changed in this bike too was the tail tidy. So removed this extra part here. Yeah, very easy maintenance. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. And let me know if you want any videos showing how to do some basic maintenance on this motorcycle. I would love to do it. So just wanted to comment how little of a space you have here to put stuff. So I had to mount my phone with the mirror, and I put another RAM mount here, and I put some USBs here and a 12-volt cigarette lighter here, but that's it. You can't do much because this thing turns, and then it takes a lot of space. Alright, thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye.